What's going on, guys? Let me see something real quick. What's going on, guys? I forgot to do something here. Just seeing what's going on. It's Q&A day. Haven't made a video in a while, so we are. Good morning, Acme Mowing, acmemowing.com, Acme Mowing, Acme. What's going on? So this big Q&A. We're gonna answer questions. We're going to talk. We're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna try to do this for an hour unless my phone goes dead. We're just gonna have some fun today. Just Q&A. We'll see what's going on in this YouTube world. Little Mo Nation, little Johnny Mo salute to all you guys out there. I know you're chomping at the bit. Okies are here. Morning, Johnny. We're getting snow, Johnny. So are we. We had an ice storm this morning. I went through all of that salt, guys. I haven't done a video in a while. All the salt is gone. I bought 2 extra pallets. That is all gone. I'm going to get more salt tomorrow. Wow, it's going to be a good year. Going to be a great year for snow removal here in Pennsylvania. So we have a lot of snow. Haven't got any real big events. I think the 6 inches was our biggest storm event. If you guys on the way in, if you can give me a thumbs up, really helps the video out, helps the channel out. I would appreciate that. Love to see all those thumbs up go up. So what's going on, ABC? How many hours have you gotten on a mower engine? Mike Liberman. What's up, brother? How much snow did you get there last night? An ice storm. Most hours I ever got was 4,697. I think that's most. Yeah, we didn't get the big storm though. We just got the ice storm, and not everything turned to ice because the temperature was between 31 and 34, depending on which side of town you were in. So we had a real quick freeze at 6:30 in the morning. What's going on, Minnesota Lawn and Landscape? Give me a thumbs up on your way in here. Really appreciate it. Got 14 in the house. Question and answer. You ask, I answer. Thank you. Thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. 14 people, 5 going up. I appreciate that. Yeah, snow removal has been great this year. Wow. Now January's been a little light for us here. Usually my Januaries are really big, so I'm kind of, torn. I think I went last week. Last week was a good week for snow removal, but I think we went 2 weeks with nothing. So we went 2 weeks with nothing in January. And then last week was a good week, and I had a salting event. It looks like I'm not going to have anything till next week, but I need to recharge my salt supply. Usually February is my biggest month. That just Marion equipment. I'm sure they make great equipment, but it really has to be. Marion equipment you have to have a dealer that's in your town. I wouldn't go out of my way. This 2-cycle stuff, to be honest with you, it's basically throwaway stuff. Weed eaters, so it's all personal preference. If you have a Red Max dealer, I'd buy Red Max. If it's if you got steel dealerships, I would buy steel. Same with Echo. I'm strictly enclosed. I'll never go to an open again, but there are some benefits to open, especially cost effectiveness. But to be honest with you, I will never go back to open again. As far as I'm concerned, enclosed, there's some downsides with heat and stuff. I have no issues with the FCO at all. If you have a dealer, I highly suggest them. Their backpacks aren't their biggest backpacks only the 700 CFM. So I'm not too keen on that unless you have a um, unless you have a dealer that's near you. Anyone in your area running tractors instead of plow trucks? What are your thoughts about tractor versus tradition? Yeah, the bigger lots mostly. I see you'll see skid steers in the bigger lots, like the big box stores. Not too much. Mostly plow trucks, mostly Western. Um, I think I see more wideouts now than I've ever seen before. In fact, I'm not seeing very many other plows in my area except for wideouts. I'm trying to think. Buyers a little bit. Snowway sprinkled. Myers, huge company here that run just all Meyer lot pros. But the majority of guys here are all Western, and to get back to the trailers, open and minimum 16. I would go as high as 20. If you need a 14, I'd get a 16. If you need a 16, I would get a 20. That's how I would do it. For me, buy bigger than what you need. That way you grow into the trailer. And definitely, for me, in my opinion, it's all the way enclosed. I have everything in there that I need. I can pull up to a job site. I can fertilize. I can mow. I can prune it. I can do everything that I need to do out of it. Back blades. No, I would not recommend them unless you have a lot of driveways or you're doing a condominium association. That has like 50 driveways in it. That's the only time that I would recommend it. But if you're just doing basic parking lots, you'll need the back end of your truck for salting, unless you're going to have another truck that just salts. But if you're like strictly driveway, salting is not a thing. Then yeah, I would look into that. I would look into a back blade. Um, you know, um, we have I think two guys here that have them, and I think the one guy said he can do a condo driveway. I think he said 30 seconds. I think he said 30 seconds. I can't see a snowblower in a commercial area. I just can't see that. The liability alone, if you're in a town and you're snow blowing a parking lot, and let's say there's a rock or a chunk of ice, and you blow it through the building window or something, I just can't see it happening. To each his own, though. I mean, whatever works. I'm not the end all. I guess I just think on a different level. I wouldn't know. For up here where I'm at, 56 inches a year, I just couldn't see. I couldn't see doing it. Again, I am I am a plow with wings or a wide out type plow. I just a straight blade and a V blade. A V blade, has its benefits, but basically a V blade is just a straight blade. You know what I mean? It's not like you can turn one in. It's got scoop mode, which helps out, and it can break you into a property in the really deep snows. You can get cut in with a V blade better than any other plow. But with just doing a lot with a V blade, it it just because you can't turn them in. You can't turn them in and push the snow in front of the blade. And it's no different than a straight blade. So it doesn't make any sense to me. Um, I know people get mad at me, but I would put the wide out in a parking lot, a 15,000 square foot wide out, and I'll race you. You can take your 9 foot V blade. I'll take my 10 foot plow, and I'm going to beat you. You're going to spill over. You're going to have to do it again. If you look on YouTube and you look at all the guys that have V blades and they do parking lots, they generally do their parking lots twice with a V blade because it spills over. Whereas my wide out and you know, uh, scooped wings will keep more snow in front of the blade. That means less cleanup. I rarely, and when I say rarely, I rarely do a lot twice. Rarely. KLC, big shout out to him for beating me in the challenge. Um, Let me see here. Hey, Johnny, enjoyed your interview with Paul Janet. I learned a lot. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Guys are doing a residential drives with blowers in 40 seconds, they are saying. If you don't have a lot of backdragging, I wouldn't suggest the Western Prodigy plow. One last question. What's your opinion of SLE's trailer? I don't know what SLE's trailers is. Hello, young man. How are you doing? Good. Parking lot. I was straight. It was Wings any day. Yeah. Wings. What's up, Lawn Care Juggernaut? If you're coming in here, please give me a like on that. I appreciate it with 28 people. Again, going back to, V versus, Wings. Maybe V plow on driveways because you could scoop the end of the driveway. You could scoop them in, but if you have scooped wings, it's the same concept. V plows are usually 31 inches high. Maybe you can do a little bit more snow. But usually, what I see is, parking lot. My biggest parking lot is 30,000 square feet. Now, what you think is better? What's up? My new wings are coming in handy today. I loved wings. They were a game changer. When I went from a straight blade 7.5 foot, which was a mistake, I put a 7.5 foot plow on my 2004 Silverado. It was a huge mistake. Everyone told me not to do it. So when I angled the blade the full way, it didn't cover the wheel wells. So that means I was trying to pill up snow I drove over. So I did not listen. Same thing. I didn't listen when it came to trailers. Everyone told me to buy a bigger trailer than what I needed. I didn't listen. So, and for those of you out there, I challenged KLC to installing your plow quicker. He beat me. Even though there's a little bit of a technical difficulty, and I'd like to redo this competition. I actually want to do a challenge. Here's going to be my challenge. What I'm going to do is you're going to take your plow off. You're going to drive around the block.
We're unable to come to the phone right now.
Drive around the block, and you're going to come back and hook back up.
We'll be sure to get back.
And we'll do it that way because I know my snow dog. My snow dog, if I unhooked it, backed up, it would still be in line. So, and then you drive back into it, it would still be in line. It made it easier. But if I went around the block and tried to do it, there were times where literally it took me like 30 minutes to get this plow hooked up. It was because I couldn't drive in. It wasn't clicked in right. It had to be perfect. It's kind of a lot like the Boss plow is. If you don't drive in perfect, you don't hit the hole perfect. It's cockeyed, So on a Western, they say the driveway's like this. Okay. What's nice is even though the driveway's uneven, the plow can still be even because it has a pivot. Like it pivots like this. So one side could be down further. This side could be down like this. This side could be down like this, which keeps the plow level. And it allows you to click in and it gives you like a big open space, like 4 inches to get that. It gives you 2 extra inches on each side to line up to get in there. And once it's in, it's over. Well, I'm not sure I want to be liked then. You're liked over on this channel, KLC. Douglas Dynamics owns Fisher. They bought Blizzard. Blizzard is how the Blizzard plow is what brought the wide out, the Prodigy, to Western Dynamics, which then filtered it out through the Snow EX, which is basically the Blizzard plow. Oh no, we have to at least inspect it. This isn't like CNN and MSNBC. We're gonna look into the facts. Did you just drive the plow back and drive it back in? We deal with facts here, KLC. We don't deal with. You're not gonna just tell me that just because it's certified that it's over. um, Let me see here. What's this big comment here? Well, the Western weighs 1,000 pounds, and the Snowway with wings weighed 600. Plus, you get 250 down pressure. Um, I think the Snowway with the down pressure did clean just as good as the Western. Um, so I would say Snowway cleans a little bit better with down pressure, but without the down pressure, they both clean. I think the Western's just as good. But you know what? The Snow Dog I had cleaned really well too. Yeah, I get a lot of guys hate me when I say that. Um, a lot of guys hate when I say that about that controller. I just don't think it's intuitive enough. I think that you wait too long to do certain things. For example, retracting out the 10 feet. Okay, so it comes out 10 feet. If you don't let the button go, right on, it snaps right into um, it snaps into scoop mode, and then if you hit the retract button, it will snap back out. I just think there should be a retract to 10 feet, and if you want to hit scoop, it should just you can hit scoop and then scoop. Um, that's just my thing with it, and that's more or less, you know, dilly dallying. That does take time off your lots when you're trying to go right into the 10-foot mode. Um, that's just my opinion, though. Other guy, oh, they think it's the best thing ever, Johnny. You don't understand. It's the best ever. There's nothing. Well, they never used anything else. They've only used a Western. They're used to it. That's fine. But when you have a plow with wings, it's just up, down, side to side. You don't have to worry about is that scooped? Is that one in? Is that one out? You don't worry about that stuff. That's why I said if you don't have a lot of parking lots, then is getting a $8,000 wideout over a $4,500 plow with wings going to save you that much more time? It's not. Thanks. I bought Snowway 3 years ago because of your opinion. Well, what do you like, Vincetta? Do you like the Snowway? Um, um, the Snowway plow was a great plow for me, and I'm glad I owned one, and I wouldn't hesitate of buying another one. But that's what I mean about this is what I mean about trying other things. There's guys like Western guys. They would tell me all day long around here, "Oh, once you get a Western wideout, it blows locks time." I don't have that much time difference between my lots from the Western to the Snowway. I spent a little bit more money on maintenance on the Snowway. The cutting edge was definitely it would go every 2 years because you use down pressure and it would go. I had trouble with the cutting edge, lasting. Um, but you know, I'm sure if you're doing all home driveways, I wouldn't hesitate. Once you got used to it, you put a backup camera. I'm sure it would be, but I just can't see it. In parking lots. Now, for me, I'm not. I used to do about 47 home driveways, and I hated them. They're always a problem. You got to pile snow up at the end. You got to back drag it, put it out on the road, and then put it on one of the corners. Or there's a way that you can tip it off to the side. But I have found that with that instance, we don't get a lot of annual contracts. So, I know my buddies up in Cleveland, they'll charge their customer $300 a year and they'll come do their driveway throughout the year. Now, here, you usually get about a 2-inch minimum. So, we would only went out twice this year. So, if you have contracts, that's cool. But this is per push here. We just don't get enough snow and we haven't had a lot of 2-inch storms to where we can just go out and do them. Now, if I just find for me finding the parking lots that are, like insurance companies or local banks or nothing national, nothing national. I don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with anything, dealing with a management company. And I've explained this before. So if there's a management company out of Tennessee, let's say they have all the big box stores in your area, they buy the contract for $40,000. They sell it to you for $15,000, and you're taking care, you're doing all the work, and you're giving them the money. And then they want to mess with you on payment. They don't want to give you what you have. And I'm going to be honest with you. The maintenance companies lots around here, like our Walmart, our Giant Eagle, our Get-Go's, our Lowe's, they look like crap in the middle of a storm. Whereas the local companies that are here and are getting per push or getting what they look black all the time. Our Get-Go, I don't know who does our Get-Go up here, but there's a Get-Go right here where I live. It is never clear. It doesn't even seem like there's salt ever on the lot, and I'm sure a management company from out of town has it. And this year our WalMarts have looked like crap. Our Giant Eagles have looked like crap, and it's because of management companies because they mess with you and they're under contract, so they try to get away with putting as least amount of salt on as possible. When you're doing something for 14,000 for a year, you're just not gonna you're gonna cut corners. That's just what it is. If it's a $50,000 lot a year, that's what you should be getting for it. You shouldn't be getting 15, 20,000. It's a $50,000 lot. And management companies, that's the game they play. I've never answered a management company's phone calls. I won't. I do work for a local contractor. Speedway. Speedway pays 85 plowing salt in town. Well, Speedway in December was calling all us guys, and by January 1st, because it must not have been taken care of because Speedway, I got a call, Mike got a call, all the guys in town were getting called about Speedway. So something happened in the month of December that they weren't happy with, or else they wouldn't have called. Like if you're getting a call right now, like from Aspen Dental has been calling people. Why are they calling? These are usually management companies who probably aren't paying their bills, or they felt that they were overcharged. And you got to jump through who. I'm not working for management companies. I'm not. I'm not walking into a store to have you sign to sign a slip of paper saying that I was there at such and such time, and then billing them out and waiting 120 days, 90 days, 60 days. When I bill you, I want paid. When I bill you, I want paid. For me, that's just how I look at it. Now, I think it was at the end of December, beginning of January, Speedway was hiring. They called a few guys, said, "Hey, we don't like what we have. That they're not taking care of us properly. Can you take over?" Well, no one's going to take it in the middle of the year. You know what I mean? No one's going to take it. Gas stations are tough to deal with. I have one gas station, but I don't like it. Like I said, I know how it works because I had a buddy who was the general manager of a Lowe's in Boardman, and he told me how it went. So I knew how much the contract signed for. And then a guy that got it was trying to say, I didn't know what I was talking about because they were doing it for half the amount. And it's just silly. I don't work for management I won't. I won't. I will sell my plow and salter before I bow down to a management company. You know, they come in here. If I'm salting it for 100, they want you to do it for 50. You know, someone just put on here, I don't know who it was, that they're doing a speedway for $85 and 85. That lot probably is a $150 lot then. If you're doing it for 85 and 85, I don't know what speedway you have. Yeah, now that's a little bit different. If you have a relationship, now what has changed here recently around here is some of the guys have become the management company. They are contacting corporate and saying, "Hey, I'll take care of this many stores." And they're becoming the management company. Now, if they reach out to you, I feel a little bit more comfortable with someone I really know, and I know that he would pay me because he has to see me in my town, whereas someone from Tennessee, they don't see you, they don't care, they don't know when it snows, when it doesn't snow. They don't know anything and they don't care. Their idea is they sold an account for $40,000. They're getting payments on that account. They sold it to you for $15,000 to take care of for a year, and then they want to mess with you. Then they want to mess with you on paying you that amount of money. Yeah, gas stations are really bad, and you can't plow. You can't get in there and get out of there because there's people all around. You know what I mean? You're always looking in the rearview mirror. You're always and then try having a plow like a V plow or a Western wideout where there's different functions, and you're looking to make sure the plows or is one wing's out, one wing's out, the other one's closed, the other one's out, and there's someone behind you and you don't see. Um, Gas stations are horrendous, just horrendous. They need to be salted. They need to be salted constantly. That's the only real way to really do it. Like just start pre-salt, hour into the storm, salt them again. But no one's going to pay for that. That's just my opinion. Though. I mean, if you want to work for management companies, I just don't. I don't. I don't have one management company. I do really good in snow removal. I can't remember the last time I used my winter fund because of snow removal. I just find the little niches, the local companies, smaller lots, 30,000 and below, something you can get in and out in a half hour, plow it, salt it, plow with wings, wide outs, snowway with wing, whatever the plow that comes out and snaps forward or scoops, I think they've all come a long way. Uh, I definitely like the plows that I can take on and take off. And I don't know exactly. Yes, absolutely. This KLC, he's absolutely right. It's just it's they're getting the lot for what it's worth. You're doing it for half as much. Can you make money? I guess, but if it's worth 30,000 and you're doing it for 15, you're giving $15,000 away. I would rather just do it for 28,000, undercut them by two. I'll take the lot and do it. You know what I mean? You don't need to. You're paying 30. I'll do it for 28. If I was going to do it for 15, I could do it for 28. Apparently, you know. But the plows. Oh, Randy, he said you're doing driveways for $5 a pop. Oh, 12.5 inches of snow. Yeah, and see that's where the whiteout and is really is when you get up in snow 6 inches above, that's where that whiteout really comes into handy. I don't generally use the whiteout too much. I usually keep it in the 10-foot mode. Um, as I'm going into a lot, I'll put it in scoop mode, and then I'll kind of take a look to see what I'm dealing with, and then I'll snap it into the 10 foot, and I'll go out in 10. Um, but honestly, I wouldn't pay $8,000 for a Western wideout or 8,800. I think mine was 7,800, unless I was doing something that required it. And that's just me, though. I wouldn't. 7.5 foot with wings on it is fine. I wouldn't buy a 7.5 foot and just use a straight blade, but if it had wings on it, what I noticed with the 7.5 foot with wings on it, you could still turn it full way and get through drive-throughs. That's how my Snowway was. I noticed when you have an 8 foot plow with wings on it, it can't get through the drive-throughs. Um, but that's today's snow talk, I guess. But seriously, I would have no issue with a 7.5 foot with wings on them. It just I don't like the wings that connect to you. I don't like drilling into my plow, so I'm not a big fan of that. I kind of like the Western wings, but they don't make them for the 7.5 foot anymore. They make them for the 8 foot, but they don't make those Western wings. They have to buy the Buyers, and I'm not a big fan. The Buyer wings are kind of they bend, and you have to drill into your. I don't want to drill into my blade. That's just not what I want to do. Um, so I like the Western wings. I love the Snowway wings. I don't know where Central PA is, but I did. We had an ice storm come through, so around 6:30, I hit a few of the lots that iced over. So, but other than that, no. Last week was a good week. I went out 4 days, I believe. I had two real big salting days. I had a couple plowings in there, like on a couple of them, where it got up to about an inch. I'm not a half-inch melter. I don't melt half-inch snow. I will plow it up and then I'll salt it. That's just how I do it. Yeah, I got some damage on one of my commercial accounts, and every time I go by it, it just ekes me. Every year it's the same place where I damage too. Um, Whoo, 30-inch storm. That's a nice one. See you, KLC. So yeah, I guess today's snow plowing talk. All my stuff is running good. I sprayed it off yesterday. I oiled everything. Good morning, Eden. Um, I did. I took the salt spreader off. I got salted that up. We haven't had a huge snowstorm. Our biggest snowstorm was 6 inches. Yeah, you got to start thinking about that now. If you plan on growing your business, how are you going to take on all the extra work? So what you should be doing at this point is taking a look at what you had last year, renewing those contracts if you want to renew them, um, or grow the top and dissolve the bottom. Get rid of the accounts that you just don't like, and then now you have some slots available, or how many slots do you have available, so you don't overbook. Because I know it's an exciting time, and right about now, right going into February is where people start getting really excited. They start going to shows. They see shiny equipment, and they get excited. They talk to other business owners who have vision, um, and I'll have to show you. I have it. I've had it. I've had it for almost, I want to say 3.5 weeks now. So it's actually, I have what they're asking me. I just haven't done a video on it yet. Um, it's already filthy. It's already been covered in salt. So uh, I've sprayed it off a few times. But yeah, yeah, you'll see it soon. Um, I'm actually out of salt, like I said at the beginning of the video. So I've went through the first set of pallets, and now I went through the second set of pallets, and now I'm going to get salt tomorrow, and we're gonna go from there. I got to be honest, it's been a great year for snow removal up here in the Pittsburgh area. It's been a great year. Last year, I had a decent January, decent February, but this year December was more than January and February put together last year. We had nothing in March. how do I charge? How do I charge for salt? So I have a formula. I measure all my lots, and then um, it's usually what I do is whatever it costs to plow the lot is how much it costs to salt the lot. I do have some other lots that are priced more for salting, and I did that. Um, I did that. So I measure length times width. I find what it is, and then you just plant your formula in there. Your salting, in my opinion, should never go half the price. If you're above half the price, so let's say you're doing a lot for 50. If you're doing a lot for $50 and you're using $25 worth of salt, you're at the maximum end of that profit. So I'm not going out for $25. I can tell you that. So, I know some people say double the bag. I'm not going out because that salt is not the only cost you have.